Yes, well, of course, the prompt you offered me, which again really was helpful to me, especially now after retiring from the classroom, but staying very much active in the politics of public education, specifically higher ed, where you and I are comrades and fighters for good, I guess. And I was thinking about the people who made me the weirdo that I am in the classroom. And they are, of course, Paulo Freire, Stanley Aronowitz, um, Lowen's book, Lies My
As my
Teacher
teacher.
Taught Me or Told Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Bell Hooks, of course, a remarkable early influence on me. And I was reading Society of the Spectacle, and in the annotations, the name Clark Kerr came up. Kerr, of course, the infamous doomed liberal, we might say now neoliberal, UC Berkeley chancellor, who, tried hard but got beaten by Ronald Reagan. He wrote a book called The Uses of the University or The Uses of the Multiversity. I think there's two different versions of that. So I had to go, of course, to the thinker on pedagogy and on politics who influences me all the time, and that's Henry Giroux, Girous. He's a renowned Canadian educator, and picking one book is pointless because he's written so much. And in some sense, he's been arguing the same position for many, many years. And so the book I picked is, ironically, about 10 years old, and it's called Neoliberalism's War on Higher Education. And the sad fact is that everything that he wrote 11 years ago is only more so now and more complicated. So the first chapter is called Neoliberalism's War on Democracy, but I'll just read you what he diagnoses as a dystopian world of corporate education. Quote, in which learning how to think, appropriate public values, and become an engaged critical citizen is viewed as a failure rather than a success. Instead of producing, quote, a generation of leaders worthy of the challenges, the dystopian mission of public and higher education is to produce robots, technocrats, and trained workers. There is more than a backlash at work in these assaults on public higher education. There is a sustained effort to dismantle the education from the discourse of democracy, public values, critical thought, social responsibility. And I love when he says stuff like this: civic courage. God bless you, Henry Giroux. Put more bluntly, the dystopian shadow that has fallen on public and higher education reveals the coming darkness of a counter revolution. This is 11 years ago, friends, that is putting into place a mode of corporate sovereignty, constituting a new, updated form of authoritarianism. Wow. Read Nolan Higdon, folks. Read so many people like my friend Trevor Griffey and Paris Marx and so many excellent people who actually know what they're talking about in terms of the technical angle. I don't understand how a lot of these folks get away with what they do technically, but you can see the through line from the production of the spectacle, which must, by the way, be challenged. And of course, Debord offers ways to challenge it, everyday ways, democratizing ways, artistic ways, community building ways, solidarity building ways, as does Henry Giroux. But there it is. And this particular book is a nice introduction because it includes a collaboration or two that he's done with other scholars. And if you admire these people on what you might call a personal level, as I do, all of the folks who I've mentioned thus far, there's a nice interview about Henry Giroux, once a working class kid, became a very important public intellectual.